So, good afternoon, my dear friends. So, today we would like to learn about Indian Contract Act 1872. Indian Contract Act 1872 is the main source of law regulating the contract in Indian law. So, it is the main source of law which is regulating the contracts. It determines the circumstances in which the promise made by the party to a contract shall be legally binding on them. So, promise made by the parties to the contract shall have a legal binding on them. All of us enter into number of contract knowingly or unknowingly. Each contract creates some right and duty upon the contracting parties. Indian Contract Act deals with enforcement of right and duties on the parties. The parties. Indian Contract Act deals with the enforcement of the right and duties on the parties. It extend to the world, and then you will be learning about it extend to the all India except the Jammu and Kashmir. It is accessible all over the case. It is follow the Indian Contract Act is follow in the except the Jammu and Kashmir, and it is came into the force in the first week of September 1872. And Section 1 of the Indian Contract Act provides that any usage or custom or trade or any incident of contract is not affected as long it is inconsistent with the provision of the Act. So that any usage or custom or trade of any incident of contract is not it is inconsistent with the of the act. In other words, provisions of contract act will be prevail over any usage or custom or trade will be prevail over any usage or custom or a trade. Malpractice time it will be usage, and that is section 1 to 75 determines general principle of law of contract, and section 124 to 238 special type of contract. Then you will learn about contract meaning and definition. Law of contract constitutes the most important branch of business law. Without such a law, it would be difficult, impossible to carry out the trade and commerce. It is not only because the business community which is concerned with the law of contract, but it affects the every person. Everyone of enters number of contract between sunrise to sunset. When a person drink a cup of coffee, or a goes to a cinema, or a purchase the goods, takes a seat in the bus, take a loan from the bank, and then he enters into a contract. So lots of the a contract a person is undergoing in a day. So the basis of trade and commerce is enforceability of promises. We know that the right created by the law are we know that right created by the law is an important branch of mercantile law regulating legal agreement. It determines circumstance if the promises made by the parties shall be legal binding on them. Law of contract furnishes the foundation in another branches commercial law or mercantile law, such as a partnership, negotiable instrument, etc. So, according to the 2H of Indian Contract Act 1872, an agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So, which section? Section 2H. So, please look section 2H of Indian Contract Act said that agreement enforceable by law is contract. So, according to the section 2H of Indian Contract Act, an agreement which is enforceable by law is an contract. So, actually, an agreement which is enforceable, it is an agreement. Contract is an agreement which is enforceable by law is only a contract. Okay, so we will learn more about it. So, contract has two parts: agreement and enforceability by law. So, agreements, that is, according to section 2E of Indian Contract Act, every promises and every set of promise forming the consideration for each other is known as agreement. So, according to section 2E. Then 2H, that is contract, 2E of Indian Contract Act, every promise and every set of promise forming the consideration. So it is a set and it is a promise and it is every set of a promise which is forming consideration for each other is an agreement. Alex offers to sell Royal Enfield to Ben for rupees 80,000. So when Ben accepts the offer, it becomes an agreement. Alex offers to sell and Alex made an offer and Ben accepted. So it is an agreement. Offer and acceptance come together and combine together. It forms an agreement. Next, essential aspect of agreement. What are the essential aspect of agreement? So first one is at least two parties. One party make the offer, the other party will accept it. So two parties is there. One party will have to make the offer. You have to make the offer, and other party has to will accept it. Without two parties, agreement cannot be done. Next one, consent ad idem. Consistence ad idem means the two parties of the contract must have agreed about the subject matter of the contract at the same time and same sense. As already I discussed you that if you are forming an agreement, you should have two parties. So the two parties of the contract must have agreed about the subject matter of the contract at the same time and same sense. Okay. That is what it must identity of mind among the parties regarding the subject matter of the contract. A has two cars and one Maruti and Indica. He has offered to sell one car to B. B accepts thinking to purchase Indica, while when he offers, he has in the mind to sell Maruti. So there is no conscious of item. So it is not a contract. I think you will be understanding it. Next one, promise. An agreement has been defined. Every promise or every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is known as promise. Is known as agreement. Okay. Now you will learn about the enforceability of a contract. To consider an agreement as a contract, it must be enforceable by a law. That is, must give a rise to a legal obligation. An obligation which is not enforceable by law is not regarded as contract. Social, moral, religious agreement do not create any legal obligations. A invite to B to go for a cinema and B accept invitation. This is not enforceable in the court of law, so it is not a contract. But A agrees to sell his for rupees 10,000 to 10 lakh to B. B accepts the offer is contract as it is enforceable in the court of law. Section 2H of Indian Contract, an agreement which is enforceable by a law is known as a contract, and a promise makes an agreement enforceable by a law is known as contract. So I will section 2H, which is a contract, then online 2H as a contract, 2E agreement, 2B acceptance. So sections you should be remembering. Okay. Next, I will teach you essential elements of contract, and it has got some essential elements. Offer and acceptance. Agreement involves a lawful offer by one party and lawful acceptance of the offer by another parties. So it is if the contract should be a valid, it should has a lawful. One party should make the lawful offer, and others should accept in the lawful acceptance way. Okay, so lawful here means that offer and acceptance should be must conform to the rules laid down in the Indian Contract Act. Okay, next one, that is free consent. That is another essential element of contract is the free consent of parties to agreement. A consent may not be free either on the account of mistake in the minds of parties or an account of the consent being by some unfair lie, means like coercion, fraud, misrepresentation, or undue influence. If the consent is obtained by unfair means, so consent should be free, not be by force like coercion, fraud, misrepresentation, etc. Is known as a contract. It should not be essential part. Next one, competency of party, that is capacity of party. Section 11 say that every person competent to contract who is age of the majority according to the law to which he is subject, who is sound mind and is not disqualified from the contract by any law to which he is subject. Every person is competent to contract who is the age of majority. The person is which have competent to a contract is who is the person who attained the age of majority and which is subject and who is sound mind and which is not disqualified by the law is known as which is known as contract, including the following person: minors, person of unsound mind, person disqualified by law, that is their subset. Next one, lawful consideration. Consideration has been defined as the price paid by one party for the promise of another. Which is price paid by one party with the promise of another. It is known as consideration. And a legal objective, that is lawful objective, that you have to learn. The objective of agreement must be lawful. It must be legal. It must not be illegal, immoral, opposed to public policy. The object is unflawed. The agreement is void. Agreement restraint of marriage, agreement restraint of trade, agreement restraint of legal proceeding, agreement the meaning of uncertain, agreement by the vague. Another elements of it must be written, attested or registered, and if it is so essential under the prevailing in the country. So these are all the for this class. Rest portions I will be taking the further classes, so keep updating the so please make sure the portions studied properly and prepare for the next classes, and I will be detailing about the further sections the future classes. And if you have any doubt, you can comment in the chat box. Okay, thank you.